Hello my friends, it is Dina with Dina Inspired, and today I am going to try a little bit something different, and we're going to play with some colors. So I have Mossy Meadow, Cajun Craze, and Pecan Pie. So we're going to play with these colors, and we're going to do a little bit of embossing. So we are just going, this is Pecan Pie. I'm just using my finger daubers, and I'm just going to go in here with some color, not everywhere, just randomly. Some of it could be probably a little bit darker. Okay, then we're going to use our Mossy Meadow. And again, just a little bit on the dauber, just kind of randomly. Light and dark, it does not matter. We need it all in our leaves. Then we're going to use the Cajun Craze, and we're going to do the same exact thing. Some places are lighter than others. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more darker, lighter of the Mossy Meadow. Again, it's just random. It does not matter. I'm not really seeing my pecan pie, so I'm going to go back in here and add some pecan pie, maybe in some of these lighter areas. So just random, okay? Then what we're going to do is we are using the Gathering Moments dies. And with the Gathering Moments dies, I am going to use this leaf, and this leaf. And we are just going to put these on here randomly, again, just whatever. Some are going to be darker, some are going to be lighter. It doesn't matter. Just, we're going to die cut these out. Also, while I'm at my embossing embosser, I'm going to take a piece of the Mossy, I believe this is Mossy Meadow, and we are going, this is going to be 2 inches wide by 4 1/4 long, and I'm going to emboss it with the Gathering Moments embossing folder. I am also going to take, this is the copper paper, and I'm going to cut a piece of it. So our green was 2, so I'm going to do this like 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. I want it to be just a little bit bigger to give that green a border, so it'll have a border on there, just a small border. And then I'm also, once I get this cut down, I'm going to cut a couple of leaves out of that as well, okay? So just a couple of leaves out of our copper. Okay, here is what we have from our embossing machine, or our die cut and emboss. So here are my leaves. You can kind of see the color on there that I did. Here is my 2-inch piece, and I've embossed that. And then here is my copper piece, and I did cut 2 leaves out of the copper as well, but this is going to go right over this just to give it a little bit of shine there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto my copper piece. And as close to perfect as you can. And so now we have just a little bit of shimmer on both sides of that embossed piece. Okay. We're going to set that aside for a minute. My cardstock that I'm working with today is Cajun Craze, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.5. And we are going to work with it horizontally. I think I'm going to do the darker side. So we're going to work on it horizontally. So these pieces will eventually go on like this. All right. But we want to work with our leaves just a little bit here. And I'm going to try something different. I've been working on it, and I haven't perfected it yet. I'm not really sure how I want to do this. So we will see what this does. So since I have copper, I'm going to use the metallic copper on our leaves. I have tried this technique, and I've tried stamping using the stamps. The stamps just have too much detail in them, and so it just covered everything up. So I don't think I want to do that. But I am just going to try something a little bit different today. We'll see if it actually works. With your take your pick tool, and if you do not have one of these tools, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. You get the putty end, you get this end just to emboss, and you get a little spatula end, and you get a little poker end, a pointed end to, you know, make some holes or whatever you need to do. You get all of this, and I love mine. So I am going to use the smaller round ball here, and I am going to get my stamping mat. And I'm going to try this, and I'm going to hope this works, okay? First, I'm going to, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip this kind of down in there just to get it around the edges. I'm going to take my little ball here and try to load it up. And just kind of do some of the things. Oh, and it worked. Let's get just a little bit more on there maybe. And you know what? I am thinking I'm gonna like it even just with the sprinkles around it. Okay, there's one of them. And again, like I said, I'm just gonna kind of leave some of that sprinkly stuff around there. I like that. I think that's gonna work good. Okay. So I'm gonna do kind of the same thing. There's that one. Okay, so that seemed to work. And now we are going to set all this aside so we don't make a mess. I'm going to get my heat tool and I am going to emboss these. Now, heat emboss them. Okay, so there are my leaves. I believe these turned out better than before, so I like this technique. It gives it a, I don't know, rough, rustic look. Not anything perfect, no perfect lines, but I really like them. I like this one, just around the edges, how that did. This one I like because of how it has some speckling in there, so I like that. This one is not, it's not my favorite, but it's not bad. So some tips with heating and using a heat tool is just let it warm up or get hot before you put it to the paper, and then the change happens very quickly when you do that. So just let it heat up first. All right, let's get started in assembling this card. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use some twine, and I'm going to wrap up here. Yeah, I think I'm going to come up some, not too far down. And we will do 3 wraps probably. And then cut that. And then we will glue this onto our card base. And I'm eyeballing it and just trying to get as close to center as possible. If you're the type to measure, you go right ahead and measure. Okay. So do you see that shine in there? That's really awesome. Okay, now then we are going to start assembling. This one is not my favorite. He's probably gonna go under most everything. Although I actually do like this edge of it, so I'm gonna stick it this away. And as you can tell, I'm tucking just a little bit under the twine there, and we're going to put a bow. And we will do our sentiments. And now we are going to tie a double bow. So in order to do that, I have 2 strands here together. Then we're going to add that there. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this.